This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
And boom! Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, begins a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Stop!
Hell no, we're going to go to the playoffs. I'll tell you that right now.
Straight up. Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, 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 cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out.
Oh my gosh, above average.
You just have to draw your own conclusions, people.
Do you think that's some information I would like to know?
Welcome back to the spotlight, young man.
Thank you.
We're happy for you.
Hey, who is Johnny King?
Tell you've hunted man, you haven't hunted yet.
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
It was a nice run.
You listen to Cooley?
He's dead. Well, he's dead.
Is wearing women's underwear part of your turn-on?
Yeah, baby.
Brett Favre that I'm tired of Brett Favre.
Well, it's that.
He's
He's the clown from Brown.
Okay.
He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
Well, Tennessee's back, and I hate to start. I mean, it would be a Richard right away. Where's the montage? We're facing Jimmy Buckets, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Stevie Kerr. Round 2. We're trying to slay another giant. And I know you just got back from vacation. I guess you just want to ease into it, huh? Look, I don't even welcome you back or anything.
Yeah.
After your vacation.
Hey, how you doing? How was the trip?
First thing I do is
great to see you.
First thing I do is just attack. Great to see you. How was the trip?
Do you really care, or do you just want to get done with it?
Yeah, well,
in like 10 seconds, and then spin the wheel of topics.
Well, I didn't even really. I think we made the conclusion that unless it's a pretty good round, there's no reason to. I could go over it if you wanted. I went 45-39 at Loggers. We started on the back, and I played all blues. My boy hits it he hits it as far as you do. And I don't mind playing blues. I'm at the point now where blue, black and blue, red, yellow, gold, it doesn't matter much to me. But that was a pretty good stretch once. I mean, I tried to hit over to the foundation on the barn, and I just dead hit a low pull, and it just smacked into the foundation. So, no! 3T triple. But I played the last 12 holes in 4 over. It was okay. Hit the ball pretty well. Had some fun, but it's really 84.
Well, I'd take that.
Yeah, I know you would. Did you have any 84s in Bandon Dunes?
I was around the 84 mark.
Oh, because those courses, what kind of yardages do you? How many guys are in this trip? Is it 8?
12.
12.
12-person trip. We do Ryder Cup style. Okay. So we split into 2 teams of 6. So we do match play. Want me to hit the yawn?
Now I understand.
Yeah,
it's weird. I never understood why.
People complain about you?
There was somebody yawning all the time when I would do it, and I never knew who that was. It sounds like Big Boy's guy. And there's this yawning. I'm wondering, well, why would there be yawning? And now I guess I understand why. So Ryder Cup style. And do you guys all have your little uniforms too?
No, we don't have that.
Because you'll see that up at the Golf Opener and Golftoberfest. Guys will all be wearing matching outfits.
Oh, we saw that at Bandon. You see, they all have like matching hats
That's each his own. I think I've told you this before. I bring an extra golf shirt along in the car every time for 2 reasons. One, in case I spill coffee on it, right? I gotta have a replacement. I don't want a soaking wet coffee stained shirt. Plus, like let's say it was you and I, and you show up with a yellow shirt, and I have a yellow shirt. It looks like we're a couple. No. So then I would go back to the car and grab a black shirt, whatever extra color. But I make sure there's 2 dye. I don't like having a gray and an off gray.
Yeah.
It's like it's black and then something
completely different.
Yeah, something completely more comfortable. So that's how uncomfortable I am with wearing the. I know it's weird. Anyway, so you played well. Did you hit the ball pretty good?
I had one disastrous round, but the other 4 rounds were all, I thought, pretty good for me.
Good.
So just had one that got away.
Dr. Doug on the trip?
No, he
okay.
He's one of those where he wants to be going to different new locations every time he goes on a golf trip. I was going to ask you that.
I kind of ripped you. I didn't really rip you, but I said Tennessee went on his annual trip to Bandon, and I said I wonder if they ever consider because there are so many different destination places to go, and I'm sure Bandon's spectacular. I get it, but have you guys ever considered that, or are you all just so in love with Bandon?
Well, it might end up changing next time anyway, because Bandon Dunes is changing the way they take in reservations.
So how do they do it?
I'm not going to act like I know exactly. They've kind of set it up where, if you have a golf group and a year and a half advance you want to go out there, you can easily get your tee times you want. And for a big group of 12, you need to be able to have X amount of tee times blocked off. And I'm not sure what changes they're making other than it's going to be, I think it's more like a lottery system now. So we've had a guy running this, he just knows at this time every year I can just get the reservations. Sure. And now it's, all right, well, now you're going to be put into like a lottery, which decreases the chances of us getting in and getting the times you want. So
they're special out of blood. They're probably so busy, there's nothing they can do.
Well, I don't get why they're doing it. It's like, you guys are just printing money out there. Like you don't need to do this to make more money.
Yeah, I wouldn't think.
And you're actually just you have like a loyal base of golfers that keep coming out there. I don't know why you'd want to turn off your loyal customers.
How much is a round of golf at Bandon?
Oh boy.
2, 3.
So we play 36 every day.
Yeah.
The first round is, $350-ish.
Wait, hold on.
Huh? And then the second round is always half that price if it's like a replay rate.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad then. Because I think I told you the story when Worlds and I were out in Phoenix. And they have 5 cloudy days a year. And 3 of those cloudy days, there's a light mist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go out there, 60 degrees, overcast, just the lightest mist you had ever seen. Guy says, yeah, there you go. We'll go play. So we play. We come back, walk in. He goes, how'd it go out there? It went pretty well. We enjoyed it. He goes, what's your replay rate? And he got this puzzled look at him and went, you're going back out there to play again? Well, yeah. Just go ahead. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it, he said. Just go out and play because, that's just... in Phoenix, when you have 360 days of sunny weather, why would you play, on a rainy day? But you had you're getting ripped.
Oh boy,
was all prepared, hard head on for busting through walls, box of Kleenex handy in case Kenny makes an appearance, and then nothing. Maybe Blakemore should stay on in Tennessee's space. And it's funny. Did you already see it? That's what he wanted me to cue. Controversial mumbling sound. That's so good. Here's another. Should have been a showdown montage. Drop the ball. Back down to interim producer from bridge producer. I don't know if any of this, affects you.
Well, can I give you my excuse?
No montage. Time to remove the bridge label. Here's another. Thursday's montage better be electric. No Wolves montage from tennis. Still mentally on vacation. Max or Sam would have had a montage. Blakemore maybe too. What's your excuse?
I would like a little grace. I had time zone change.
Okay.
Time zone change of 2 hours. Jet lag. Circadian rhythm's a bit off. I mean, you can't expect me to just jump right in and give you my normal performance on the ground.
We thought you were built different. We really did. There was a time I thought you were built different, but apparently not.
Huh?
And I will say this, Kenny would be a bit too much yet. I mean, the way we dominated, and it's not like we need some type, it's not 1 in a million to beat the Golden State Warriors. I thought it would be 1 in a million to be able to beat Oklahoma City. Why would I ask? Did you see last night?
I know they lost. Yeah, I saw the game winner from Gordon.
They just choked that away. It's like, I read a story that broke it down in Zapruder-like fashion, possession by possession. Because what they're questioning Oklahoma City's strategy of intentionally fouling because they don't want them to hit a 3. They'd rather go to the 3-point, shoot free. 2 1-point shots is less than 1 3-point shot, and it just backfired. And then Holmgren, our guy, Chet looks hungry. Holmgren misses both free throws. They're called free throws for a reason. They're free. They end up losing that game. It was astonishing. Meanwhile, Bodega Cat and Company comes back from a 20-point deficit against the Celts. And those series are now both at 1 to Dunzo. Wolves and the Warriors tonight on this radio station. They're at the bullseye. We'll break it down, Tennessee, like nobody else can. You and I both, we cover the NBA like a wet blanket. We'll do that on the other side. We'll begin doing it on the other side of the break. Rosen at 2 right now. We got bonus bucks.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword money at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is money. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
KFAN and Sukup Manufacturing bring you Fan on the Farm. Starting May 19th at 9 to noon, we'll be taking your tractor talkbacks. Each day, one farmer will be chosen to receive a Sukup prize pack, including a Carhartt cooler and a Brewmate Growler canteen. Get the full details at KFAN.com/farm. Sukup Manufacturing Company, helping farmers feed and fuel the world.
Couple 13-14 past Common Man program. I'm Common. He's Teneby. And Tana, if the message wasn't perfectly clear to you during the first segment, this one should sum it up quite well. So, let me get this straight. Draymond, Steph, and General Soreness Jimmy, who hasn't played at Bullseye for years are in town for a Western Conference semifinal matchup against the soon-to-be NBA champion Timberwolves. And we get the same old boring, dull, lazy fanfare for the common man, with Brandon just mashing the button bar with the same tired clips over and over and over again. Thousands of Wolves fans are ready to cheer on the team, and the one thing they need is a right now montage. Common, I'm about to say something controversial, but this will be one of the worst playoff atmospheres in NBA history.
Well, there's that.
Think about it, Teneby. The entire Twin Cities metropolitan area was dependent upon you to create the kind of atmosphere we really needed, but you were only worried about your own selfish golf game. Think about it. But I guess people have come to expect nothing less from the Common Man program. Wet blanket this, unprepared, uninformed, unapologetic. We really don't worry too much about it. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Big storms are in the forecast. It seems like pretty near every other day or so. Stay safe, and remember, Affordable Electric is here if you need them. If you experience any electrical damage, outages, or safety concerns after the storm, get a hold of them right away. You can call them 612-331-VOLT, 612-331-VOLT, or affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric is shockingly affordable. There really isn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I do have something Viking related. When you were gone yesterday, Teneby, CBS Sports, who's really in the business of it's sports overload. There are literally hundreds of different stories that they come up with every single day, and some of them are just made up. It's not like, Knicks come back, beat Celtics. Here's a quote, there a quote, everywhere a quote. It's stories like this one. Yesterday was the one pressing issue for each team after the National Football League draft. This one is one reason for optimism for all 32 teams after the 2025 NFL draft and free agency. Oh boy. Lost it for a second. Give me a second, Teneby, because I'm very fascinated with this story. Let's go ahead and start with the Chicago Bears. We'll take a look. We'll do NFC North. But again, this is Peek at the Purple. We'll get to the Vikings last but not least. Ben Johnson arriving as coach, arguably the biggest addition throughout the entire offseason, with the Bears landing Ben Johnson as their head coach. In just his first offseason at the helm, you can already see his imprint on the roster, with Chicago bolstering its offensive line and adding an array of weapons. For second-year quarterback Caleb Williams, Johnson has shown us during his days as the Lions offensive coordinator that he's a tremendous play caller. That's widely expected to translate to being a head coach. Chicago's days in the dumps may be a thing of the past. Tenneby, how much import do you put in the change? I mean, it seems like it's been a long time since the Bears have had a really good football coach, right?
Yes.
I mean, considered a great, I mean, even Ditka, I mean, he brought him their only world championship. I don't even remember, it was so long ago, it was back in my Haight-Ashbury days. I don't necessarily remember if Ditka was considered a great coach or just a good motivator and had the right guys around him. But yeah, I would say of recent vintage, this might be the best coach they've had, right?
It's hard to know until he starts coaching, right? He hasn't been a head coach. He's just been an offensive coordinator. It's always hard as well when you're determining how good of an offensive coordinator he was, like how much of that is on him and how much of that is on the players, right? Like he had a great offensive line in Detroit, some good receiving talent, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and the tight end Laporta, and you had the ground game the last couple of years. And Jared Goff was, his career was resurrected, so I guess you could argue, well, Goff, even though he took the Rams to the Super Bowl, he's played better in Detroit than he has with the Los Angeles Rams.
I would agree.
It's hard to know how much you put on what he's got to work with and how much he is just some sort of innovative offensive mind, but he definitely didn't screw it up. He didn't make it worse there. So you'd have to believe they should get a coaching upgrade, and the area where he's supposed to be good at coaching is specifically on offense. They are loading up here. Now it's some young talent. Doesn't mean it's going to happen this season. But, they've got a young quarterback who was number one drafted last year, was compared to Pat Mahomes before the draft. And they just keep adding position players and some offensive line in free agency.
One reason to feel optimistic for Green Bay would be Jordan Love's late season surges. It says for the second year in a row, Love has shown an ability to come alive down the stretch. It's a window into the peak of his powers, which Green Bay should hope comes together throughout a full season. Over the last 2 seasons, Love has gone 11-5 with 28 tutties and just 2 interceptions between weeks 11 and 18. However, Love's hot streak came to a screeching halt with a 3-interception performance and a one-and-done showing against the Eagles. While that definitely leaves a sour taste, Love is flashing elite potential at times. I tend to agree with that. I mean, I liked him early on when they first selected him. I knew nothing about him, but I went with the bit, and I still believe it. A lot of Rodgers was annoyed that you drafted his heir apparent, and fans were annoyed, and media thought it was a bad choice. And I said, caretaker of the team, if you think you got a future quarterback, you got to go grab him. And I think he's developed pretty well. But yeah, I mean, that's nice. I guess you'd want more consistency, from start of the season to the end. But he has closed strong and might be a reason to be optimistic. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the year Jaden Daniels had, it's hard not to be a little concerned.
Yeah.
With Caleb, they had some moments where he was going multiple weeks without not throwing a touchdown pass. So, I'd like to think. Well, I don't know if I personally would like to think, but I'm guessing Chicago as well. When you have a disastrous offensive line like he had, he needs a little bit more structure. He's now got a play caller. He's now got some offensive line to work with. And a year under his belt, yeah, he should definitely improve. And he was very highly thought of, like I said, coming out of college.
No, we were talking about Jordan Love now.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're talking about Caleb.
No, we'd moved on to Green Bay.
Jordan.
He was really good late in the season. He was from weeks 11 through 18, the last 2 seasons, he's been really good. That's what they're saying.
I think he's just an okay quarterback.
Really?
I mean, and when I'm saying okay, I'm talking about, you have that tier of like 12 to 16 that we've always put like Kirk Cousins in, and maybe Jared Goff is in there. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is in that range anymore, but he was kind of always, the Kyler Murray range. I think he's in that spot where you have to commit money to him. He's good enough to be what you consider a franchise quarterback without being elite. I don't know if he elevates the players around him. I think he still needs to have some guys with him. He's quality, but I don't think he's going to climb on my back good.
For the Lions, they say the one thing they have to look forward to is the return of Aiden Hutchinson, which I absolutely concur.
Yeah.
Without Hutchinson, they had trouble putting pressure on the quarterback. They went through a litany of players, if that's the right word. I mean, they went out and they got Za'Darius. They were doing everything they could to try to provide the kind of pressure. I mean, I think it was weren't the numbers, if I remember correctly, like he was injured was it week 5 or 6, whatever it was, that even even going towards the end of this, he still led the team in sacks.
Yeah, his sack numbers were bonkers.
Yeah, and that was just in those weeks he played. So
he was probably on pace for Defensive Player of the Year up until that point.
Yes, I think you're right. So I think obviously that is that's a positive for the one reason for optimism for Detroit. For Minnesota, Tennessee, perfect roster to usher in a young quarterback. Perfect roster.
Do you see a weakness?
McCarthy, offensive line was improved. We talked about that, the interior with the 2 signings. He's JJ, he's Jordan, he's TJ, he's Aaron Jones, plus the new young running back from San Francisco. McCarthy is your head coach, the offensive guru, as they call it. That's more... Forget optimism. That's parade route planning is what we should be doing the way they're talking about it here. So plenty of optimism to go around in the NFC North, but particularly for the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings. Peek at the purple.
I'll also give you more JJ optimism in 5 questions today.
Ooh,
yeah.
Very good. We'll do that. This was Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. Tennessee starts how much time until 8:30 start tonight? So we're how many hours?
A little over 8 hours. 8 hours, 1 minute.
8 hours, 1 minute. 8 hours
54 seconds.
54, 53, 52. We'll talk Wolves, Warriors next here on the Fan.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Game 1 of the second round tips off tonight, and what better way to watch it than with Carboni's Pizza. Visit one of their 30-plus locations to enjoy delicious pizza and get ready for the Minnesota playoff run. Find your nearest Carboni's today at carbonispizza.com.
Couple 13-14 pastime common. He's tend to be the legendary Mark Rosen will make his triumphant return just before 2 o'clock today. We'll see how he feels about this upcoming series between Golden State and Minnesota. Mark didn't even think they would be here.
No, he doubted it.
He bet he thought the Lakers would win in 7 games. So my guess is he figures Golden State will vanquish the Wolves as well, but we'll find out when he joins us just before 2 o'clock. Tenny, could you look up a word for me?
Yeah.
A word, pariah. Pariah. She's a singer, Pariah Carey. You familiar with her? Pariah, P-A-R-I-A-H. Yes.
Pariah. An outcast, any person or animal that is generally despised or avoided.
Is there a picture of Jimmy Butler there? Here in this town, he is a pariah. He is considered, can you read that one more time? Jimmy Butler is considered a...
Pariah. An outcast or any person or animal that is generally despised or avoided.
I think Wolves fans their feelings got hurt. Maybe all fan bases are like this. They'll welcome a player with open arms, particularly a player that is highly regarded, right? Whether it's in the draft or free agency or trade, whatever the case may be. And then oftentimes when that player leaves, fans turn on him. For whatever reason, player demands a trade. Player doesn't feel like he's making enough money. Player doesn't feel like the organization's doing enough to put together a team to that player's satisfaction so they can make a run at a title. It was I will never forget this isn't the exact quote, but Jay Cutler at one time I thought was the best quarterback in pro football. He did have a nice little run there for a while. He was pretty good, but I think he looked at one of his offensive linemen and, because he wasn't providing much space. He goes, look, I'm not doing this just we're trying to win games. I do this for a living. We're not just doing this for fun. What are you doing? Right?
Yeah.
And I think Jimmy Butler felt the same way when he was here. We're not just doing this for fun. I'm trying to win here. And he left, and most people know the background to it. And when I have extolled, which I think are the many virtues of, he can be a Richard. As most people can, including myself. You could just call me Dick for short. But anytime I extol the virtues or support Jimmy Butler, I hear it from emails, texts, talkbacks, message boards on Twitter. He's a Richard. He's what's wrong with the league. He's a POS. And I've never understood that line of thinking, specifically if you take a real deep dive into what exactly did happen. And Chris Hine, who writes for the Fish Wrap Factory West Side, did a superlative job today. He summed it up better than I could. Headline, Timberwolves are now the team that Jimmy Butler never thought they could be. The Golden State Warriors are meeting the Wolves in an NBA playoff series that brings Jimmy buckets back to Target Center. Here's what Hine writes. I'm not going to read the whole piece, though you should. There are a few ironies coinciding with the return of Jimmy Butler to Target Center, a place where the Warriors forward has played sparingly since he uprooted the Timberwolves organization with a trade demand in 2018. When the Warriors and Wolves tip off for the second round of the playoff series, one of the ironies is that nobody on the Wolves was there to experience the reasons the crowd would likely boo Butler with zeal. And I brought that up the other day when people were looking at, Rosen brought it up as a storyline, and it is, but I don't think it's a storyline like people think. It's just the fans. It's not the organization. Nobody, as he points out in the story here, no player is on the Wolves roster from that time. The coaching staff and the front office are different. Nobody associated with the team has an emotional attachment to that time. But fans do. And that will certainly play into this. But I think the fans' hatred toward Jimmy Butler is misguided.
Agreed.
Here's another irony of Butler's return this postseason. The Wolves have created a team in the image Butler wanted, and Towns was a crucial part of building that culture that contributed to it. The Wolves team is built on defensive tenacity and physical toughness. They don't back down from anyone challenging them, with multiple examples in the last few seasons, including Jaden McDaniels and Klay Thompson getting into it during a Wolves-Warriors game last year. That confrontation, and think about this sentence. This is sports to be, but think about the next sentence. That confrontation ended in Draymond Green putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold. These are grown men. You would think they're grown men that are psychologically fit, well-adjusted, yet you got one guy putting a chokehold on another. That confrontation ended in Draymond Green putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold, another bit of kindling that adds to the juiciness of this matchup storylines on and off the court. The Wolves are also a team that is internally tough. They can talk to each other in a culture they often describe as hard truths. That wasn't the case when Butler was in town, and he longed for a team that didn't have to walk on eggshells around each other, since he wants to be as brutally honest as possible with his teammates, which is exactly what, when we read quotes yesterday, what Anthony Edwards has done with the Wolves. But when it was Jimmy Buckets who wanted it and then said, I can't get it here, I want out, I want a place where they'll play that way, he's been treated as a pariah. Because the average Timberwolves fan doesn't understand and read between the lines and take a deeper dive into what happened. All they know is Jimmy created issues and they wanted him out. He wanted out, and they were glad. They were like, don't let the door hit you on the way out. The Wolves became that kind of team, and they did it with Towns as a crucial part of it a season ago. Towns became the kind of player Butler didn't think he could become. The Wolves had the number one defense last year, and Towns fit into a culture where players could hold each other accountable without egos receiving permanent damage. Towns is now in New York, and he won another playoff series with the Knicks, while the Wolves have maintained that culture of toughness and truth despite needing some time to adjust to each other early in the season. Butler went to 2 NBA finals with Miami, whose much ballyhooed heat culture meshed with his personality until he did what he did in Minnesota and burned some bridges as he exited to San Francisco. If any player embodies the spirit how Wolves fans feel about Butler, it's Edwards, who wasn't afraid to stick up for Townsend his rookie season when Townsend Butler got into a verbal altercation. The following season, Edwards stood up to Butler in the exchange on the court, much to the delight of the crowd. So I wish Wolves fans would. I don't know why I admire players that want more. That's how you win in basketball.
Yes.
Tenacity, toughness, play defense hard. That's what wins championships. And to hold other players accountable and to demand things from players and be able to go up to a guy and say, you're awful. Pick up the pace here. These are all grown men who've been playing forever and they're making big money. Let's play the game the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be played.
And as I mentioned in the story, that's how the Wolves play now.
That's exactly
That's
right.
their culture now.
That's exactly
And even
right.
Anthony Edwards, even though he's only 23, like he does hold his teammates accountable, but he also is willing to accept criticism from his coach, constructive criticism. Like he's willing to take coaching as well. So everything the team looks like right now looks a little Jimmy Butler-ish. That's what they needed to do to advance.
And of course, as I expected, here are people that, and again, these are people that because, I don't know if they were born and bred here, the Wolves are their team, they can't accept the fact that maybe the organization and maybe the players were wrong and Jimmy was right. They won't do that. You can't accept that. They don't want to accept it. Here's one that says, on Butler, instead of demanding a trade because you don't think the team can win, how about being a leader and teaching the young players how to be better? He attempted to do that. He did it over and over, and they wouldn't listen to him. You could only do it for so long. And look, careers are short. I mean, we had producers here before 10 to be that demanded more from me and didn't get it, and they left. Bo Mitchell, Davy Joe Simser, Ethan the Eel McIntosh. I'm still stunned you're still here. Or maybe you're a lot like me and you don't expect that much from yourself either. We just kind of like the squishy middle where we don't have to, we don't have to try too hard or, we don't have to do this or that.
Don't have to do a montage.
We don't have to do a montage. If we do it great. It's no big deal. Yeah, I tease and cajole tend to be about it, but I wouldn't do one either. I mean, he was on a long trip, battling the elements, the golf, the whole thing. But, and again, it is, here's one that says, Jimmy's message was absolutely right. The Wolves were not competitive and serious enough. The way he got his message across, attempting to embarrass the players and organization, the media, was probably a little much, but I don't have a problem with it. And I feel the same way. And that was just the last straw when he did the embarrassment thing. It wasn't like he did that from the very beginning. And he took an 8-seeded Miami team to the NBA Finals. The guys he can flat out.
He took a Wolves team that hadn't been in the playoffs for how long?
Yeah.
And got them to the playoffs.
That's exactly what he did. And so, and you don't have to like him personally, I guess, if you don't want.
But you have to respect him.
But you have to respect him. I mean, there are players like that. I mean, another guy, and this guy actually is probably even worse because he didn't Draymond punch his own teammate. I mean,
yes,
this
Jordan
guy's
Poole.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Yeah.
But Draymond's another kind of guy that he doesn't settle for softness. He doesn't settle for people that don't play hard, that don't play defense. You think Jordan would have accepted any of that stuff?
No.
You think? No. How about, what was he called, Mamba?
You know about Kobe?
Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, the Black Mamba.
Yeah, the Black Mamba. Do you think you'd have put up with that nonsense? The best players don't. You get paid a lot of money, man. Let's play basketball. Play hard. All the time. Play defense. Let's play basketball.
You would think a fan base would want players that are committed, will do whatever they can to help your team win.
That's what I would say. But because it was perceived as a slight to the state of Minnesota, to the NBA fans, and to the Wolves, and get out of here if you don't like it here. All right. But they, as Hein wrote, and as you just said, they've become that team that Jimmy wanted them to become. It should be terrific theater.
And everything Jimmy wanted the team to become. That's what fans wanted Andrew Wiggins to become.
Yes.
He drafted 1 overall. He had all the talent in the world, but he didn't have that to him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And
he's always just now been a third, fourth guy on a team. He's never become a 1.
That's correct. He's never become that guy.
Not even a 2.
So, and will it be enough tonight? I don't know. I mean, I was surprised when they lost 2 in a row and it got to 3-3 and they had to go back to Houston. I thought they were done, and yet they found a way to win. It was Buddy Hield. Who was it that said somebody on? Was it Butler? Somebody on. Pete told me this. Somebody said, "Yeah, we love when Buddy shoots, but just don't dribble, buddy. Just don't dribble." I love when they tease each other.
Shoot.
Yeah, just catch. Do not dribble. We do not want to see Buddy dribble. But yeah, Buddy Hield was big time, and that it should be good tonight. I'm about to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
I'm going to skip Rockford Files tonight. Yeah, I am. No, I am. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to watch Timberwolves versus Golden State.
What about Gilligan's Island?
Yeah, no. I know what happened at the end. They finally got off the island. We'll take a break. Oh, no. I thought I had taken a right. I thought that was, I was so impressed with how I just.
You got to the 7th inning. We still need, 8th and 9th inning arms.
Well, here's another one, and people will probably be annoyed with this one. Golden State coach Steve, because Jerry Zagota, Fish Wrap Factory was saying, Golden State coach Steve Kerr delighted with the addition of former Wolf Jimmy Butler. Here's what he said. He turned us around completely. This was in a video call with reporters yesterday. Kerr said, he turned us around completely. We were below 500 when we got him, and we've been one of the best teams in the league ever since. He's a superstar. Jimmy has brought incredible confidence and stability to our team. He was a perfect fit because he never turns it over, and we've been a high turnover team in the past. I don't know anything about what it will be like for him to play against Minnesota. The only experience we played a game in Miami this year, and it did not go very well for us. I don't think it applies here. Jimmy is a gamer. He loves to compete. He's excited for the series. He has incredible confidence that I think fuels the guys. They believe in him, and they also feel his belief in them. That's really important. He's a great player, one of the best ISO players in the league. So in a playoff game, when all else fails and you throw the ball to him, and he gets you a good shot. So,
that's the thing is, I think people view him because of his exit and because of even the Miami. They kind of view him as like a selfish person. He's the ultimate team player when you're on a basketball court.
No better.
I mean, he makes others better.
Yeah.
He defends, which helps others. They don't have to give him help defense.
Yeah. And it's interesting. The Wolves have that in them now as well. They do. They do seem to be a very unselfish team. Randall sort of learned it. Remember when they traded for Randall? One of the cautions was, ball gets sticky in his hands. You know, that's sticky in your hands. I mentioned this yesterday, Tennessee. When you say the ball gets sticky, that's just a nice way of saying the guy's a ball hog and wants to shoot and he doesn't want to give the ball. He's selfish. He wants to have the ball in his hands. And they said it really changed after he sat. You know, Scoggins said this when you were out, and he didn't go Tommy Olson on the bit with saying the best thing to ever happen to Ibrahim was to, tear his leg to shreds. But what Chip did say is being out did allow Randall to see what was going on there. When he came back, they've been like 21-5 or 24, whatever that record is. And it's been because he now knows his role. The ball doesn't get sticky with him. He can score when you need him to. He's done it.
Yep.
He can also he can play a tenacious defense. He can distribute the ball and get it to the people he wants. And so he's almost kind of got a Jimmy Butler kind of role. And we know we know Ant is adjusted to that. Remember, was like, I'm young. I want to score. He's tired of double teams. But when he sees he's double teamed, he'll get the ball to other people. They're
And if you trust those guys and they hit their shots, that ball will come back to you eventually, too.
That's it. And
it opens it up for yourself.
It does indeed. And so it should be high drama tonight. I'm really, I don't get that hyped up for any sporting event except the Masters.
I feel like Wolves fans now are getting a little overconfident. Like, this is a tough team they're playing, right? I mean, the Wolves, I would guess since the trade deadline, these got to be the two winningest teams.
I think
maybe OKC's there, whatever. But, with Butler and Steph Curry in the lineup together, they are 26-8 this year.
Yeah.
And obviously the Wolves have been pretty darn good down the stretch as well.
Well, and defensively, I think someone sent me a text. I guess I downplayed the Wolves defensively. I know they're good, but I mean, I think they're like 5th in the league right now. And Golden State is at number 8. So you got two teams that like to play defense. And
will Buckets be guarding Ant?
That's what it sounded like. It was going to be Buckets.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Buckets against Ant. That should be really good. And
it's going to be hard to slow down Steph.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll use multiple people on.
We might have to go bully ball on these guys.
Yeah.
Another Randall series.
Well, and then I don't have a roster in front of me, but I don't think they got a lot of size on Golden State, right? I mean, now I think I'm going to get goosebumps saying this because this sounds like inner basketball talk. I think Draymond plays bigger than he is, right?
Correct. Kind of like Charles Barkley back in the day.
Exactly. Yeah. Plays bigger than he really is. And of course, just the feud between Gobert and Draymond should be
so good.
It's just going to be, and that's the thing. I think Draymond,
Draymond's the one who's going to get booed because he was making comments at Target Center last year when he was a part of the TNT crew. And I remember going to a Wolves playoff game in the Dallas series, and he was getting booed by fans in the stands.
Well, and I think you'll agree with this, Tenneby. To say the least, I think he's got some gadfly in him. And he's going to try to get Gobert going. You know that. He's going to try to throw him off his game and try to draw him into...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is
he'll do a little flopping.
Draymond, somebody sent me an email or a text, and I don't know if it's accurate, but like Draymond's got so many technical, like he's on the verge of getting suspended again for a game in the playoffs if he's not careful. And it's not hard to get him going either, right? A couple of bad calls and then maybe some taunting. All of a sudden he gets a couple of bad calls and complains, and a Wolf player taunts him about it. And the next thing you know, Draymond could get ejected. So it's
we might see a brawl in this series.
Yes, we could see a brawl.
Yeah,
the
old melee.
Remember that old cliche about I went to a boxing match and a hockey game broke out. You could see that tonight. Little 5-3-4 topo of the hour, Tenna.
Is J.J. McCarthy the next Matthew Stafford?
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.